drawing. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create Beziers for the controller and paste them to the two pupil layers. So a layer has functions like position, scale, rotate, skew, blah blah blah. They are the basic functions. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna share a function. It's called function linking. I'm gonna move the right pupil layer, like the right side that you see on the screen, to the left to be closer to the left pupil. It actually depends on your art style and character. I got a script on Discord that will help make function linking way easier. I'm just gonna select two nodes and sync them. See, the pupil moves with the controller without being its parent. You guys really have to use this script. Otherwise, you're gonna be creating Beziers and copy and paste them. It takes too much time. Now I'm gonna sync the right pupil drawing layer with the left pupil layer. Now, both of the pupils will move with the controller. But you can see that the pupils are too far away from each other. They're not accurate to the reference file. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move the right pupil peg layer to the left. We're gonna use the animate off mode to not create any keyframes. Okay, I think that's enough. Okay, so now the controller works. It can rotate. Yeah, that's good. Usually you don't animate on a drawing layer, but they're just controllers. So screw that. You can see that when I imported my round shape in, my round drawing layer in, it imports some color palettes too. It's from another file from my IK template, so I'm just gonna delete them. Now we're gonna draw some more eye poses, which will be drawing substitutions for the eye layer. I'm gonna duplicate the drawing so that my process is easier. Since this is just a simple round eye, the eye poses will be very easy to create. I'm gonna draw some eye blink frames. You can adjust separate vector shapes or paths with the select tool. Now I'm gonna use the cutter to trim the extra unnecessary lines. Now we're gonna paint the eyelids. I forgot to add some more color swatches. Okay, so this, the main color of Ollie. Okay. For some reason, the pupil overlaps the eyelids. So, oh yeah, the line art must be in front. The line art node must be in front of the pupil. And so the eyelid stays on the line art, so it's gonna overlap the pupil. That is the eye controller node. I'm gonna connect it to the main composite. It will be connected to the main master peg of the whole rig. Now I'm gonna start creating some more eye poses. It's speed drawing time. I'm just gonna duplicate drawings and make some more eye poses like closing eyelids or funny and or chill, and then like super funny. This can be used for when he's like super scared. Okay, the angry, anger, and they're fearful or sad, I think. Extremely sad, like he's crying or something. Boo hoo. Okay, so I've got all my eye poses. I think for now they're enough. You can also move both eye pupil layers because their pegs will be moving, not the drawing layer itself. So you can move the pupils and pose them according to your liking. Remember this, the pupil pegs move individually. The pupil drawing layers move with the controller. Now I'm gonna create the eyebrow layer. I'm gonna use the pencil tool instead of the polyline tool to get more organic shapes and thickness. You can adjust the path using the contour editor tool. I'm gonna select create new drawing so I don't have to adjust the original frame to get the new ones. I'm just gonna draw new eyebrow shapes and poses. You should create some neutral poses, angry, sad, or like confused or perplexed. I'm gonna create an invisible fill around the eyebrows so when you zoom out too much and the eyebrow is small, you can still click on it and transform. You can put it on the color art layer or something, or any other layer like overlay or underlay, but I like color art layer. I like to use it very often. Now when I zoom out the view, I can still click on the eyebrow layer thanks to the invisible fill surrounding the eyebrow. I'm gonna adjust it a little bit so you don't click it by mistake when you select the hair or eye layer or something. Now I'm gonna create a peg layer for the eyebrow. So we're gonna use the copy and paste pivot tool again. And make sure to uncheck the animate using animation tools and set the pivot mode. Set the pivot mode to peg layer on the drawing node, so you don't accidentally animate on the drawing layer. I like to use clone layers because when you clone layer, the new clone layers will update with the original layers. Like if you created more eyebrow poses for one drawing, the other drawing will update it. I'm gonna connect the face pack to the eye packs and eyebrow packs. Okay, so the face pack will help stretch or lift the eyes and eyebrows a little bit. You see that? You can use this pack to put more life into your character's facial expressions. Also set the pivot, the x-axis of the pivot to be 0 because it's a symmetrical rig. Okay, so now I'm gonna create the mouth layer. I already have some drawing poses that I made in my Photoshop file. The mouth is in the face pack too. I'm gonna add another composite node that will be the main composite of the rig. The composite node above will be for the head. Again, I don't want too many nodes connected to a single composite node. The eye controller will also have its own composite node with a visibility node. Okay, so how does it work? Okay, turn off the soft render so it will not render in the render view. You can only see it in the OpenGL view, which is what we're using to rig our character. We don't use the render view to rig our character because they don't move in real time. I will start tracing my mouth poses. Okay, the first one, we're gonna use the polyline tool because I want the mouth to be very symmetrical. We're gonna trace one side only and then we copy it to the other. It will be like perfectly symmetrical. Turn on the snapping tool so that the path you see, the point you see, it will snap to the grid. And we use snap to align so that we can create a straight Bezier handles. Now we're gonna copy it to the other side and flip it. Now we're gonna snap it and oh wait a minute. I think we're gonna put it on solo mode. Okay, easy snap. Good. I will start tracing the other mouth poses. I'm thinking of creating separate teeth and tongue layers. This will be for a 360 rig, so I don't have to create extra mouth poses with deformers. I don't recommend it to beginners because there will be too many mouth poses and like head poses. Too many keyframes. It's a nightmare. We're gonna give the whole mouth layer its own composite node. I'm gonna start tracing the teeth for each mouth poses. Oh yeah, and tongue layer too. I'm gonna put the teeth and tongue inside the mouth using the earlier clipping mask technique that I just told you guys about. The eye and the pupil, separate the lines and the fills. Yeah. Remember to add a pack layer for most drawing layers because you don't want to animate on the drawing layers. You can also add pack layers for the controllers, but I don't like to. I'm lazy. Again, I'm gonna add an invisible fill for the mouth layer because when I zoom out too far, I cannot click on the mouse. So now I'm gonna batch rename these drawing cells or frames. I will sync the tongue and teeth layer to the mouth layer. That's why I had to rename the cells, because they will only be synced properly if the substitution numbers are correct. Now, when I change the mouth pose, the teeth and tongue drawings will also change accordingly. Okay, so we're done with the mouth. Now let's trace the head. The head drawing layer will be connected to the head peg because the face controller is a different thing from the head. Now I want my head drawing to be perfectly symmetrical. So I'm doing tracing one side and then copy paste it to the other side. Yeah. Remember to increase the exposure of the drawings so that you can test the animation throughout the timeline. I'm gonna put the head pivot on top near his neck and set the x-axis to be 0. Okay. Now I will create an envelope deformer for the head so that I can use it to create poses in my 360 rig. I like to use the envelope creator to create automatic deformers. Since my head is symmetrical, it will be easier to calculate the deformer points. And they, as you can see, they are symmetrical. To create the 360 rig more easily and stylistic choice, I'm gonna use the head as a clipping mask for the face, including eyes, eyebrows, and mouth layer. Again, the line art and color art node to separate the line and fill. We're gonna create a composite for every part of the face so they will be connected to the mask easily. Now I'm gonna use the cutter node because you cannot connect that. Yeah, you cannot do that. You cannot make a mat out of a composite node. So we're gonna use the cutter node. I'm gonna make the head controller and face controller to help me test things out more easily. I'm gonna duplicate. Yes, I'm gonna duplicate the eye controller to make the head controller. because I duplicated the head node instead of cloning it. The drawing of the head controller will not be synced with the eye controller. They are now completely separate layers. I'm gonna use the square shape in my library. Different shapes will help me tell the controllers apart. Now I can move the face very easily without having to search where the face pack is. Like, controllers are very helpful, you know? A basic principle of animation is a squash and stretch. It will help make your animation more lively and more fluid and expressive. So we're gonna do the squash and stretch for the head pack. We're gonna be using 2 points constraints with 2 more packs because that's like the fastest way to do it. I'm gonna connect the constraint node to the head deformer and the face pack. So the 2 point constraint node works like this. You have one peg and the other. If you move one peg further from the other, the drawing will be stretched. If you move this peg near the other peg, the drawing will be squashed. That's basically it. And I use this constraint node to make my fake IK arm template too. So 1 point is on the top of this head. The other will be at the bottom to create the squash and stretch motion correctly. So do you understand how 2 point constraint works? If you don't, you have to like rewatch this part like a 1,000 times, okay? Now I will create a controller for the squash and stretch motion. Okay, that's good. Seriously, I am loving these controllers. Now it's time to create the hair. Speed drawing time! I'm not gonna use basic deformers this time. I'm gonna use my wake deformer dynamic hair template. You can get them on my Gumroad page. This setup will help move the hair more naturally according to the movement of the head. Now I will move the pivot points of the pack to create some create the pivot point that will transform the hair and some other points to hold the hair in place. I feel like I need at least 2 hold points. I only need 2 more points to deform the hair. I'm gonna delete at least 1 peg. One control point on in the middle of the head and one control point on the top of the hair. Another unnecessary peg point. Now I'm gonna test the dynamic hair movement. Wait, what? Oh, wait. Oh, the hair peg is not connected to the constraint. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's better. It looks good so far. Okay. You can also create controllers for those pegs, but now I don't feel the need to. Now I'm gonna duplicate that hair strand to create the other hair strands, which will duplicate the whole setup. It's speed rigging time! The dynamic spring nodes are connected to one constraint switch node. And what is it used for? Uh, okay, I'll show you. I will press the show control button of the constraint switch, which will show us some kind of a control. It's kind of like a slider. This switch will control the overall intensity of the dynamic movements. If I set the slider to the bottom, there is no more dynamic movements. If I set to on the top, oh my god. That's much better. Okay, so let's create the rest of the hair. Okay, so let's see how the whole hair will move. This is okay. It's okay. But there's still something missing. I will put in some auto patch nodes. You'll see how it works. I'm just gonna connect them to the front of the composite. I'm gonna explain the auto patch node like this. It kinda cuts the outlines of the drawing layers. To use this effect, you need to put the fill of the drawing to the color art layer. It's also good for arms and legs if you wanna create that seamless joint look. Now the hair looks more seamless. Okay, so now the whole hair is over. The whole hair is overlapping the face, so we're gonna adjust the node view a little bit. I'm just gonna use the hair as another clipping mask for the face. So the hair and the head will both be the clipping mask for the face. Again, the outline has to be on top. Okay, so I'm gonna adjust it a little bit more. So the face is overlapping the fill of the head, but not the outline of the head. I'm not gonna use the line separating technique for the hair because each hair strand is a different piece, and if we do that separating, it will only render the whole line art of those hair strands, so it will not work. I'm gonna try another way. I'm gonna use another cutter so that the hair will be a clipping mask for the face separately from the head. Okay, now it works. Not for the hair though, but the eye doesn't need to go that high. So yeah. Now I'm gonna readjust the dynamic spring hair movement because as you can see, it's not looking that good. Oh, okay, it looks kind of ugly, so we're gonna have to adjust the pegs and the speed, the intensity of the dynamic string nose. I feel like the peg in the middle of the hair doesn't need to move that much, so I'm gonna adjust all of them. That looks kind of better because those parts don't have to move that much, making the hair more stable. I'm gonna reposition the peg pivot points. Moving the point further from the hair strand makes it look much better. Okay, let's test it out. Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay, you guys, that's it for now. This is Rocky Raccoon, and I hope you like and share this video to other people, and subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more fun tutorial videos like this. Adios! I'll see you guys next time!